Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, my house, I've just moved, so I'm trying to do readings as I jostle my house around. This is what we get today. Welcome. Okay, so today I'm being asked to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to get a first message for each of the zodiac astrology elements. So if you are a fire sign, a special message coming up for your scenario. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What is it we can see for our fire signs? So we're getting the King of Cups. This definitely means that somebody has a lot more love to give than is sharing right now. I'm going to get an energetic card and see what you're meant to do about that at this time. What is the lesson for my viewer regarding this unspoken love? Pleiadian Stargate, freedom, sensitivity, beauty, and sensuality. So for you fire signs, you are being asked to focus on your own freedom to the point where even if your King of Cups, male or female, isn't sharing this amazing amount of love that they do have because they're not able, they're not ready, they've got other things going on, etc., you're meant to be tapping into your own sensuality, beauty, sensitivity, and understanding the nuance of how fragile loving unconditionally is, but your cutting edge is self-love versus unconditional love of other, and harmonizing that so it doesn't hold you back in your life. This is one of those unconditional motions that the journey brings us into when we cannot control the outcome, the path of another person, all of that. It is very masterful to be able to retain, regain, rein in, diverting energy towards this situation. Energy flows where attention goes. If you've been focusing on this person for so long and they are unable or willing at this time to reciprocate, this is your test. Not that you can pass or fail it, or that there is a right and wrong, or that you have to. The beautiful spiritual blessing, energetic blessing, though, is when you can bring this back into home and embody this sensual self and sensitive self. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder as well. Allow your inner world to radiate the beauty. Transform the thoughts you're having internally about the situation that might be draining you of your spark, and bring that back in. What would it take for you to get back into that? Is it some sort of a bodily need, a passion project? What is it that you need to redirect towards, fire signs? Okay, so let's see, earth signs. What can we see for earth signs? Divine Creator, what is this? Energy for earth signs coming up. So, okay, earth signs, I'm getting that in the 3D, I'm literally getting that you are possibly thinking your DM or divine counterpart thinks that you are still held up in waiting energy, but you're secretly moving energy below the surface. Like maybe it's been a while since you were in contact, maybe you haven't been able to give an update, or maybe you have withheld waiting for the right moment. There seems to be something that you don't think your divine counterpart knows about your 3D. You've evolved under the surface is what I'm getting there. So you might even be starting to date other people. You might be branching out in some way. For some, I can feel that you're moving and you haven't told your DM that yet. So you're wondering how that's going to impact or if they're going to notice. curiosity here. So what can we see to clarify for the earth signs? What can we see to clarify for the earth signs who might not have their DM up to speed on their most recent strategy? Ancestry, courage, wisdom, and empathy. Yeah, so I'm getting that whatever this thing is, it's taking courage, and it has to do with you overcoming generational things. You've gained a lot of wisdom, and at the end of the day, your life path is up to you. You're not going to screw it up if you make a decision in your highest and best interest. With the empathy here, though, I do believe there is a lot more of an energy conduit between the two of you than you might know. But just be careful, because there's a trap here that you aren't doing this out of, you know, retaliation or spite or some sort of lower vibe thing. I'm not getting for most of you that you are, but this is, don't allow the perceived guilt and shame of not disclosing every little thing to your counterpart. If you're not in communication and they are taking a step back, really weigh the odds out. Does the person need to know? Would it be kind for you to know that update if it were you in your counterpart's shoes? Yes, they may be out of the loop, but at the same time, you love this person, and I'm sure they love you and have connected on some level, or you wouldn't be watching this. So earth signs, you've got a little bit of a decision to make. People are going to find out whatever this big change is anyways. What would the highest and best strategy be? Even if it takes courage for you to follow through with perhaps updating your counterpart because you don't feel like it's warranted. In some cases, it won't be warranted, and you'll have to just utilize unconditional love so that when your person does find out, there is some clarity there and all of that. But you do have a little bit of a choice point here, I'm getting. Okay, so that was fire and earth signs. Let's do water signs next. So thank you, Divine Creator, for showing us what are the water sign messages. Wow, we got a few here. So we got 3 of Cups in the reverse, 5 of Swords in the reverse, Queen of Swords and the Sun, and the Page of Swords. So I'm really getting that there could be third-party situations or the ending of third-party situations. I know what it is. So regardless of the lack of friendship or other energies pulling your divine counterpart away, water signs, you are sitting in your truth that only the highest and best will do. You are curious about what is for you. You're going forward in this enlightened energy. You're rising above with the bird I'm drawn to, the butterfly on the sword for transformation. And you're knowing that what is fit for a queen, so to speak, male or female, take it as it resonates, what is fit for a DF is somebody who knows through their free will. This is my card of free will. In the reverse, it's a conscious choice to make the decisions to balance out this third party energy, unfriendly energy, whether it's a person or a situation taking the energy away from the twin connection. Free will needs to see it clearly, and you know that that's the only thing that will do, water signs, that your counterpart come into the full recognition and take full accountability, meaning their heart is in whatever they connect to. And you've gotten to a place where you're sitting in this enlightened clarity, water signs, and so you're good on your own, but you are curious with the Page of Swords. I can tell you're curious as to what will happen. What else can we see for the water signs? The heart is awake, love, innocence, and reverence. Yeah, you've got this warm glow. You're doing you, and you've come back into just doing the basic, simple motion of life. You don't want drama anymore. There's a simplicity to this. So maintain that golden glow, I'm hearing. Just keep going, water signs. That's amazing. Okay. What can we see? Oh, and I want to say that is magnetizing what is for you in. Okay, air signs. What can we see for air signs going forward? Wow, we get the Death card very confidently on the Tower. Amazing. 2 major arcana air signs. So some major revelation, major transformation in your connection. I'm really getting that your DM right now has had an aha moment because you've gone through some inner work and you're waving your victory flag. You can see some major overcoming in your own life. You've come through the battlefield of karma yourself, and that's energetic. It's energetically blowing things apart on your counterpart's side. It's how it works. Spooky action at a distance. You don't even need to be in communication for that to be so. But let's get some more clarification for the air signs. We get a couple for air signs. Temple of the Moon Goddess, emotional transparency, nurturance and grace, and self-sustaining systems, fluidity and abundance. So I'm getting, yeah, you popped into this self-sustaining system, and now it's like the energy has no choice but to cause an upheaval of transformation for your counterpart. So you may or may not even be feeling it because you've come through it and you are taking care of your own energy. This is such a beautiful, masterful, self-sustaining frequency. But emotional transparency, nurturance, and grace, because you've learned to self-soothe, self-nurture, to protect yourself, air signs, you are in this wholeness. And now you should be able to very clearly discern what's yours and what's theirs. Super beautiful for you, and catalytic for your twin. So feel into the discernment of the energetic airwaves and decide if it's actually originating from you or not. So if energies that you're picking up on are quite intense, drop in. Whose energy is this? Ask, whose energy is this? Is it mine? Can you trace your thoughts in a linear fashion to see that you've produced this kind of catalytic energy, or is it collective? Is it somebody else in your family, someone close to you, or does it have the flavor, the aroma of your DM? So yeah, air signs, you have burst through into a new level. Hard one, I'm hearing, but you've become more self-contained. All right, let's get into the DM reading. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. Wow. I'm just saying wow, because this 9 of Wands was the other way, upright in the deck here, face up. This card popped out of this deck this morning too. I found the 9 of Wands. Actually, it's the Wounded Warrior, but I found it like creased, bent, and it was in a pile of things I was going to sort to recycle. And so that 9 of Wands, Wounded Warrior, first message for the DMs is perseverance and really seeing that they have been acting a little bit more on wounding than they once suspected is what I'm getting there. But let's keep going. Thank you, Divine Creator. What are the DMs thinking about these connections? What are they feeling on the heart space for their DFs? What is the wish at this time? What is the action going forward that will lead closer to union, unity, consciousness, union within, union with counterpart? What is the biggest challenge at this time? What is the spirit-guided solution for that challenge? And where are the energies going in the near future? Yeah, I'm feeling this one. So I'm going to also get a couple of messages for the DFs watching. I just heard how to anchor the energies that we get in this message. So on the conscious mind, DMs, Four of Pentacles and the Death energy. So Four of Pentacles in the reverse is opening the heart. So there has been a transformation, a fulfilled transformation, I'm hearing. Something has been worked through to the degree that there can be a heart opening. And I want to say in this particular deck, there's the swan. That's a symbol of union and enlightenment. So we did just get for the air signs the death card energy. So it doesn't have to be, but on, you know, air signs, air is the thought, it's the swords, it's action. So there's some sort of a mental breakthrough I'm also getting here because of this enlightened connection, this union on the energetic level. Because of your connection, there's been a direct influence, some aha moment. So what can we see for the DFs regarding this energy? Yeah, it's because of your unconditional love, I just heard. Being drawn to the horse and this free spirit. So it's like, because you're doing you over here, just prancing around, maybe you're dancing, maybe you're feeling the joy coming back in, it's inspiring this love and transformation and heart opening here. Because you are just, I just heard, on fire and loving your life regardless. You are such an inspiration. And the Empress just fell out. Yeah, because you're the Empress. Because you have embodied. I just heard for some, you're taking on the world, and your DM is like, that's my Empress. And it's really, it's causing this glowing heart feeling. It's definitely a muse at a distance. Okay, for heart space, what can we see? Five of Wands in the reverse. That's my card of karmic cleanup. Finally just letting go of external opinions and that kind of a thing. It's like an aha moment where peace comes in and we can just shed the tomfoolery of other people's fear or cautionary statements like you shouldn't go towards your DF because those kinds of things, or the internal dialogue that prevents us from acting on our dreams and engaging in the extraordinary life because we've felt undermined or victimized, or we don't know where to begin. That is being cleared away on the heart space, and it's helping to pinpoint the true source of heartache, this self-sabotage I'm getting in a way. So the DMs are really humbly looking at how they have caused heartache because of subscribing to other opinions that are contrary to love. Point blank. Love is here in these connections. We feel it, it's real. This is a journey of faith to go towards that love regardless of these naysaying things. And because of the time-tested and true connection here, DMs are whittling down the excess energy to the essential here on the heart space, and seeing they haven't had to have the heartache involved in these scenarios to this point, that it's been a matter of perception. Wow, and we're getting the Hermit in reverse as well. So this is about skills and tools needed to actually go into these energies. So Divine Feminines, I'm getting the message that you can go into meditation a little bit more often instead of taking these distances of time, space, communication, all of that personally. Drop into meditation in your own right and really channel, utilize these times of disconnect, I'm hearing, for a higher good. And instead of focusing on what your DM might be doing, really what you do for self, you do for twin. Drop in. If you are feeling things on the heart space, meet your counterpart there and energetically give the "you've got this" message, and be in that high frequency Okay, what is the wish on the heart space? 8 of Swords and the Devil. So the divine masculines are wishing to free themselves from this devil energy, from illusion once and for all. Yes, divine masculines realize it's their own fear that's kept them small. They want to rise above. 4 corners may be important for some. Sacred ceremony, medicine wheel. This can be coming back into ancestry. If there are some blockages to stigmas, to embracing ancestry. I'm hearing generational healing, sacred spiritual transmissions that want to come through from the ancestors. Divine masculines are wishing to step into being elders. So they want to be spiritual leaders. They want to represent the generational things. And they're going through a major rite of passage. This is the devil energy. And I started prophesying, channeling back in about September that the masculines were going to really go through this, like a vision quest, 40 days in the desert kind of thing. So it's a metaphor potentially for many, but I'm seeing here there could be some sacred ceremony, a rite of passage, a formal ritual to mark this time, or it could just be like a fast, a spiritual retreat, working with a shaman, meditation, finally getting real. They want to mark this time period in a significant way. So they want to shed all of the anxiety. Yeah, so we're getting anxiety, and yeah, they want to see what is still unseen. Why they're lackluster, I just heard. Why their creative juices aren't flowing the way that they thought. Divine masculines, you have shed so much of the worldly stuff, and yes, you are kind of transcending a new level. There are a few things for everybody to see more clearly here. So divine feminines, keep asking to be shown the root of any remaining powerlessness, hopelessness, sadness, things not being seen clearly in your own right. I'm hearing give up the ghost of connection past and allow it to be new. Allow that element of freshness to come in. You don't have to be superstitious and hang on to your divine counterpart, cycling in suffering as a way to keep them in your existence, in your reality. Let go, glow up fully. Okay, what is the action for the masculine? Prince of Wands and 4 of Pentacles. So this is interesting because we saw the 4 of Pentacles in the first portion, opening the heart, expanding towards this connection in particular. And here we have the 4 of Pentacles shutting certain things down, and that's the passion here. This is a player card, and it can be multiple sexual options, temptation, guarding the heart against temptation. So it's not that, okay, so there might be other energies approaching your DM right now, and your DM is actually strong enough at this time and grounded enough to not act on those things. It's uncharacteristic for your DM, I'm hearing, that they won't feel pulled towards some sexual explorations that they may have in the past. They're balancing out this energy. There's this brand new strength and magic coming in to explore with you, divine feminine. So what else can we see here? Yeah, there's some burden that's being released because of that wishy-washy energy, because of the wandering eye, the wanting other multiple options. If your DM doesn't have multiple options, it's kind of the wanderlust insatiable energy. There's a desire to deepen. Yeah, we're seeing the motion towards more of a spiritual purity. 10 of Wands is all about karma. And so when we're at the 10 of Wands, we are lessening the burden from having made these renegade karmic choices, the knowledge of good and evil. And so we are getting, for everybody, we've gone up the mountain, we're coming down, and we're going to come back into our embodiment with newfound inspiration, new motives, new projects, new life goals, new standards for what feels good and right and true. And I see the divine masculines safeguarding themselves from unnecessary lust. Yeah. What is the biggest challenge for the masculines at this time? The Knight of Cups. The bigger picture, continuing to see this freedom. So we've seen the eagle here flying above. I know that's a hawk, not an eagle, but we're getting this message of the big picture, the vantage point from a step back, room in the heart for a little bit more of that spiritual cosmic look. So this is the challenge, to see the connection between love, Knight of Cups, self-love, love of other, big picture, the truth, that it's freeing. I keep getting that message that this love is freeing. How love can be freeing. That's the task on the masculine's docket. It's like how to remember or keep the freedom and admit that there's this pull towards the feminine, because we did see that Knight of Cups that the Empress was inspiring, demonstrating, doing them. That's the same feeling here. It's like, how do the masculines get it through to their core that they're not going to lose their freedom, that there is so much lovely energy here. Okay, so the Death card in the reverse just fell out, and that's the same kind of message for that Knight of Cups, because they came out to begin with in the beginning here. So it's continuing this transformation on every level, the necessary ending that completely closes out the past relationships, the fear templates, that history will repeat itself, that the freedom will be lost. So masculines, there's this real nudge here to design what a spiritually freeing, a soul level freeing connection would look like. And it doesn't necessarily mean sexual autonomy, although that freedom is also there. It's more of this firm knowing that you're not going to cramp your style, and whatever that needs to look like financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, that you're going to be accountable for your happiness, but that you can have love in your life even with that in mind. Okay, what else can we see for the feminines regarding that? Yeah, reunion will be coming when the masculines can balance this theme out. What is the solution? 7 of Cups and the Star. Yes, masculines, there is one portal through this, the peaceful pathway through on your destined path. You are on that destined path. This is part of the magic of these journeys, is being able to cut through the confusion, the illusion, the options, and open these magical portals of consciousness that allow you to be the technician of things that haven't been demonstrated to you, that you can solve these problems of lack of freedom that cause you inner turmoil, the conditions that cause you to feel like you are not in flow, connected on a deeper level. This is the journey that allows you to work that puzzle through the labyrinth and continue following your star of destiny despite all the options, despite all of the usages of your time, there is one magical portal through at all times. It's that next step. It's the wayfinder energy. What can we see for the and look at, there's a feminine on this Knight of Wands. So this is the unbridled passion. Divine feminines, it is possible. You know, we saw for the actions the masculines were taking, where they are streamlining the passion and bringing that in. And look at divine feminine. This is funny because I'm being reminded that the divine masculines had this crazy horse of the divine feminine doing them prancing around, and now the divine feminines are sensing that the divine masculines are doing that same kind of freedom act and getting it in their own right, mastering their own happiness in their own right. Okay, where is the energy going? The Death card for the third time, but this is the death of codependency. Heck yeah. F-bomb, yeah. The death of codependency. Woo, yeah. Okay, so what can we get? That's so beautiful. Transformation, the phoenix from the ashes. That is a rebirth energy, a brand new energy. Butterfly of transformation there. So the end of codependency. What can we see for, yes, we have the Queen here. I'm going to do a little shout to Steve Love Tarot, because I've never really noticed that red flag, and I heard in one of your readings, Steve, when you're drawn to that, it's a red flag. So having said that, divine feminines, you are this Queen of Swords. You are the gatekeepers too. So when your divine masculine comes back in, don't necessarily be on guard, but pay attention to red flags. Meaning, if you see something that resonates as codependency or imbalanced, don't take it personally. Don't be a bee. Like, literally just see it for what it is and celebrate the fact that you have come through this journey and that you're able to be tipped off to things that aren't energetically balanced, and stay on that edge. The Queen of Swords has a sword. That is a cutting edge of development. You are in just as much empowerment as your DM to steer this thing down the edge of duality so that there is that middle way. And then we get, oh, here's that Nine of Wands in the reverse, the wounded warrior. So this is the rite of passage, the perseverance until the end through the spiritual high priest here, channeling higher guidance. I just heard the finish line is in sight. This is the race the twins have been embarking on, the human race, right now towards this holy grail of conscious relationship. The twins are the specialists in that. So I'm not force feeding that everybody needs to do this, but for those who are so inclined to be the specialists of this, we're coming down to embodying the freedom. Look at how joyful that high priest is. The freedom of having come past the wounding, come past the healing, come past the codependency. A lot of the twins have already done so much of that work, and yet we have to be coming into the vicinity of true unions in order for the vision of it, the real grounded knowing of the new to be seen. So codependency and coming into closer relationship, it can't all be hypothetical. There will be things that will need to be talked about coming into further connection. And I'm just really getting that we're getting into the vicinity of actually knowing what those inner workings are, enough to have those conversations of what? Reciprocity, And the cutting edge between walking away from things that don't emotionally serve and walking away from the person. You know, like we're meant to let go of the person, meaning letting go of all of the past, let's just say it that way, to stay at this beginner's eyes, the perpetual grace, the state of grace going forward.